Yes, we are still on top of the world after that win against the Bills on Monday night. It's Dukes and Bell, Day, Big O's here. Of course, it's 2 o'clock today, man. We're at Flowery Branch. We invite you guys, as always, to tune in to 92.9 The Game. We're going to have Coach on, hopefully a player segment as well. Schedule's a little different because, again, short week, Monday night, then we turn around, we're playing Sunday night. But we're going to bring you all the info, guys. Day, let's start with some of the comments, man, because we talked a lot about it yesterday. Coming off that Monday night win, the jubilation from a lot of fans and how they felt, people buying in saying, hey, this is a prove-it win. But I'm curious to see what some of our listeners said. What do you got for us?
Yeah, man. So first up, I want to give a shout out to our guy Samuel Davis 1574. He says, I think Penix will get better moving forward. Also, the young players on defense will be improved as they get more experience, but Falcons need other players on offense to step up. What happens if Drake London and Bijan Robinson don't have a great game? Ray McLeod, Mooney, Casey Washington, Kyle Pitts have to get going. What are your thoughts?
Yes, yes, and yes, yes. I mean, we were talking about it yesterday, Carl. Sorry, I got my microphone in front of me. Hi, kids. Wide receiver 2 is kind of it's a mixed bag at best. You know, I mean, Mooney's been banged up since the season started, dealing with a hamstring. And Casey Washington, now he had the big block yesterday, Carl, to spring that Bijan run. But he's got to catch those balls, man, when he gets a chance. And the thing with Ray, Carl, we'll ask Coach today because he was in civvies on the sideline, a healthy scratch.
Happy birthday, by the way, to Ray. Apparently today is his birthday, as the Falcons put that out there. But I need him on the field. And to our listeners' comments, was it Sammy Davis? Sammy, you're right. Look, we haven't been challenged in a way that any defense has been able to take away our best weapons yet. But it's going to come. As the season moves along and teams figure out how we're operating and what's gonna happen, there will be a game where Bijan gets limited. There will be a game where Drake gets bracketed or double teamed. If I'm playing the Falcons, by the way, that's how I'm playing them right now. After seeing these first 5-6 weeks, I'm going, I need to limit those two guys. I just can't let Drake have a 120-yard game and 10 catches. And I can't let Bijan go for successful. But, Mike, you're right. This is the big point of contention for you yesterday when you said we don't have a number 2, right? We're talking about wide receivers.
Right. Now, I know we've got guys in the practice squad, but, and we saw a bunch of dudes like Chris Blair and some of these other guys. I like Casey Washington's game, but, I mean, you're only going to get so many opportunities. You got to step up. You can't drop a ball that Penix puts perfectly on your hands. This is where Carl and I said, would you maybe, because the time is now, with the way we look on defense, where we're getting some momentum, we're rolling, do you maybe look at the trades and try to find a wide receiver for a team which maybe is already, throwing up the white flag day in Orin and try to maybe find an athletic guy? The prototypical guy Carl brought up yesterday is A.J. Brown. Couldn't see the Eagles trading him in the conference, of course, unless you could get a haul, and Howie Roseman wants to haul those picks. But would you say we've already lost a first-round pick and a bunch of picks the way we handled the draft? Do you say let's go all in and go get a big-time athletic wide receiver, or is that just not that important to this offense because we're running so much 2 tight end sets?
I do. Look, what I'm hearing out of Philly is they more than likely, now you guys know this could always change, but they more than likely will hold on to A.J. Brown, work through these difficulties, and then trade him after the season. The reason because of that is because of, if I could speak, is because they still feel like they're a better potential Super Bowl team with A.J. Brown, even with him tripping. So they did this last year, and he was tripping, right? I mean, he read a damn book on the bench. So they feel this like they could work through this, still get back, win another one, and then in the offseason, move him. And that's more than likely what's going to happen. But, Mike, if I'm Terry Fontenot, I'm working the phones. I'm with you on this. Like, I think this is one of those narratives as we move through the season and we start to see that lack of production on the other side, which, again, should be Kyle Pitts, but they don't put him out there like that. So right. I think he should be working the phones and seeing what's available. Here's the issue, though, guys. To Mike's point, you're not going to go get a star wide receiver unless you're willing to give up a haul. And number 2, I will tell you guys, Julio got traded, had no impact on the Titans, right? You can go down the list of major names that have been traded in season that they go to a team and they don't do crap. So that's the danger in this as well is, let's go get a big name. And then he comes in here and he doesn't do anything. I don't know what the answer is, but I do feel like either somebody's got to step up, or how about this? How about Ray and Darnell get healthy and get their asses back on the field? Like that's what ultimately needs to happen. What do you guys think? What do you guys think?
And by the way, Carl and Orin, guys, the only one would be Odell Beckham, who came in. I think he was injured with the Rams half his season, but he did make that run to the Super Bowl. But again, again, we're talking on the margins. I just want to see production. And Kyle Pitts can be that answer, but as Carl said, we just don't use him like the wide receiver unicorn he's supposed to be.
Dude, look, if I am our offensive coordinator, and I'd love to ask him this, maybe we will as the season moves along. I think Zach is speaking today. Maybe Jeff is speaking as well, the defensive coordinator. Stooks and Bell, our pre-show guys, will be up at Flower Branch today, bringing you everything from up there as we get ready for the 49ers on Sunday. Put Kyle out there and let him run deep routes. He's fast. He's big. Like, what is the hesitation unless it just goes against every philosophy you believe in? And we don't know that. Day, what do you guys think, man, about this wide receiver thing before we get to the next question?
To you guys' point, I think we all have been in agreement that we would like to see more Kyle Pitts. And maybe it's a thing because I felt like we kind of saw a little bit more from Zach Robinson with this playbook, with his play calling this past week. Maybe it's a matter of him just kind of working his way into things now, especially now that he's on the sideline. So maybe that will become a thing because obviously if we see it as fans and we know that, hey, look, your receiving core is kind of depleted, then obviously he's got to be seeing the same thing too. So maybe it's a matter of him kind of strategically working Kyle Pitts more into the system and into the game because we've seen Kyle Pitts be productive the times he's been targeted this season. So it's not like he can't be relied on. They're just not going to him. Casey Washington, I really like what he was doing in training camp, but to your point, we do need to see him kind of step up. He's had a couple of good catches. He just needs to be consistent.
Well, and Mike, you said it real quick. I want to say it was a third down. That ball he dropped could have moved the chains.
Right.
Your number got called. Like there's nothing better in the huddle when it's coming to me, and he was open. And Mike said it. Penix put it here. It hits his hands, and he dropped. Like those are the moments where you go as a coach. I got to be able to trust you when I call your number. Go ahead, O.
No, like you're saying to the point about Kyle Pitts, maybe that's the answer right there. Getting him more involved, getting him deeper too. But I think the thing that maybe doesn't give me as much concern about the wide receiver is just how well this team is running the football right now. If the identity of this football team is one that's going to just go out there and get 150, 160, 170 yards per game on the ground, then I don't know if the second wide receiver concerns me as much as just having a guy out there alongside Drake. Doesn't be a true number two, but just somebody out there that's going to get a couple catches a game. Like the beginning of the season, I think Vegas had the over-under for Michael Penix touchdown passes right around like 17 or 18, so about one per game. So I think they even thought too that this was not going to be a football team that was going to have that much, I guess, success or productivity. Well, not success, I should say, but be as prolific of a passing team as maybe people thought they would be, or even saw Michael Penix when he was at Washington be. But it does give me a little bit more hope and optimism about the receiver game right now, knowing that, hey, if it's 3rd and 4, potentially they can put this ball on the ground and get it. I mean, Caleb McGarry, when he was during camp talking with Andy and Randy, he's injured right now, but he said that the identity of this football team, and especially the offensive line, is that if it's 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, call an outside zone, call an inside zone, call a running play. Okay. They want to be the team that even on 3rd and long, they aren't afraid to run the football, and they'll have success picking it up. But for the most part, like Bijan's averaging almost 6 yards a carry. Tyler's averaging almost 6 yards a carry. So, yeah, eventually at some point or another, there's going to need to be somebody else that steps up to catch his passes. But I like the way this football team is running the football enough right now to say that, like, it doesn't give me as much concern, I think, about that other receiver spot.
Right. And again, these are first world problems because statistically we're tops in defense, tops in offense. We're just talking about, Penix, and I want to see, everybody knows how good Penix can be. And like he's only played 8 games. I mean, maybe we're expecting too much from Penix, but the thing with Casey Washington, it's a deep ball. That's Penix's specialty. He can do that. let's go get some guys that can catch that ball, take some pressure off of Drake, because sometimes people, I guess, Carl, we really haven't seen anyone have the ability to bracket Drake and take him away because he's just that great a weapon and they've got such chemistry. But it's just something, if there's one thing I'd like to see, I think that's why I don't want to harp on it, but it's just why WR2 is not there. But that's us. You guys can talk about it to us today on the show on Dukes and Bell.
Yeah, and look, I know we want to talk Tech, and we will today. Georgia as well. Georgia Ole Miss that game is just getting bigger and bigger. It feels like this is going to be a big spot for Georgia to handle business. Yeah, and look, I know everybody's like, we'll get them because they got us last year. It don't happen that way, man. These teams turn over and change so much. This isn't like high school where you got the same guys coming back and you're playing the same team, your rival. Point is, it's getting bigger and bigger. But I want to stay here for a second because this is interesting. And I know a lot of Falcon fans are like, okay, great points. This is how I feel. You guys can text us, tweet at us, guys. We'd love to read some of your comments and share on the air starting at 2. You bring up a great point, but I'm going to say this. I know these great defensive coordinators in the league, and we're not in that position yet. We ain't got to a playoff where, you can focus in. But I'm going to tell you, if we're playing the Eagles, Vic Fangio is going to have 9 guys in the box.
Right.
They are going to stop Bijan Robinson. Okay. They're going to limit him. I won't say stop him. And he's going to force these great coordinators. Lou Anarumo leaves Cincinnati. He goes to the Colts. Colts are kicking ass. He's going to stack the box. They are going to force Michael Penix to throw accurate passes down the field to beat teams. We haven't gotten there yet. But I'm telling you, as all these coordinators are watching how we're operating, that's the concern. The teams that are balanced, the Eagles, the reason why they go to the Super Bowl and win last year is because you didn't know if they were going to go to AJ or the Slim Reaper or Saquon. You got to have options. Oh, and the tight end's really good too. You cannot be one-dimensional and it's Drake, as one listener pointed out yesterday. We got a really good team. I'm very happy with where we're at. These, as Mike said, are first world problems, but that's the stuff down the road where you go, I don't understand how they slowed Bijan down, because that's what they're going to do, and they're going to force him to make those throws. And
the Pitts thing, we'll ask Coach about it. I mean, if I get down there in time to talk to Zach, if Zach's talking to the media, but it's that Pitts thing. Now, we won. You said, Orin, yesterday, who cares about Pitts when you play that way? Some days, not everybody, when things are cooking, is going to have those numbers, but back to Carl's point, Pitts can be that. He is that hybrid. And I know we spent 2 years talking about Pitts and his potential. So it's just something, and I still think we're still scratching the surface with Kyle Pitts.
All right, we got one more question about while we're staying here. Let's talk Falcons, man. And we're going to talk plenty of Georgia Tech today on the show. Go ahead, Day.
All right. Ironically, this one is about Michael Penix. This comes from Mr. Boss Up or Bow Out. He says that, yes, we blogged out.
What a name.
But he still believes Michael Penix is our weakest link.
Wow.
He thinks that he needs to be better at pre-snap reads, running the ball when the play breaks down, and throwing and not overthrowing his wide receivers. What are your thoughts?
He got away with 2 interceptions against Buffalo on Monday night. We talked about that on Tuesday's show. But again, Carl, he's only played in 8 games now as a pro.
Yeah, I believe Mr. Boss or Bow Out is right. And I want to put this in context. Part of the evaluation right now with Michael Penix is first read, not there. I'm going to the short out, which is usually Bijan, right? I'm going to the escape route. And that is the read on him right now. It's not first read, Drake's not there. Second read, not there. Third read, now I got to make a decision. I'm either escaping or that's not what he's doing. So Mr. Bow Out or Mr. Boss or Bow Out, I think you're right about this. But to Mike's point, we got to give him time. I don't know if Matt Ryan had that in his first year. I don't know how many quarterbacks come in with that, man. So, we got to give him more time. But I feel you on this because you feel like it's not where it should be. But, man, it's 8 games, 9 games on Sunday. So I agree with you fundamentally. But I think hopefully that progression stuff that we talk about is going to happen. And Mike, I'll say this. This is why we were so amped in camp. He was hitting Drake because that's his first read.
Right.
And that's what we're seeing. Like, that's his first read. And now if I'm a defensive safety, if I'm Jesse Bates on the other team, you got to know they're looking at that. And that's why they jumped that route the other night. But he missed it. They missed it.
16 targets for Drake.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like everyone knows. That's why I was joking around this preseason. I said, like Montana to Rice. Everyone's like, slow your roll. Well, hopefully in 10 years, that's what we're talking about here. But no, it's just it doesn't to the texture's point. At times, Penix, you know what? He just looks like a rookie.
Right.
You know, Matt
There you go.
Ryan. I mean, he didn't have earth-shattering stats. He had Michael the Burner Turner. We were a very conservative offense back then. That first year in 2008, we went to the playoffs. But Matt was steady, and Mike said it. He took a cue from Drake May in the Patriots game against Buffalo. But he did almost throw 2 picks, so he's got to be more accurate. And this gets back to Zach. Can Zach maximize the talent? And this San Francisco, Carl just talked about all the great elite defensive coordinators. Robert Saleh is going to have a plan. Saleh's going to have a plan on Sunday night.
No doubt. We love our quarterback. Huge Penix guys. He's going to be really damn good. But this is a learning process, man. And he's not coming in here and he's not going to throw for 5 touchdowns every game. It's just not going to happen. All right, more Georgia Tech today. Georgia Tech's got a big game on the road. It's Duke. Do not laugh. We're not talking about Duke basketball. All right, Manny Diaz has that team playing really well. It's interesting. We'll talk about that. We'll get all the latest from Flowery Branch today as well, guys. We got to run. Thanks for being here. Make sure you tune in at 2 o'clock today. We'll see you.